What's going on YouTube? Listen up, young elder gang. This is Joe Blow, back at you with another banger. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, fam. I hope this video get at least 100,000 likes. In the following video, you will find history, definitions, scripture, information, and best of all, what we Americans have been deprived of from the beginning, the truth. Keep in mind, this content used in this video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. We will give you the total truth, as we best understand it today. Be sure to hit that like button, young elder gang. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell, and don't forget to check back with us every day for new content. Alright, let's get started. Greetings, humanity of all, over the world. The New World Order are following a slow-paced agenda of total control over mankind and your planet. They are making very small steps towards their complete and definitive enslavement. As a result, the masses remain relatively unaware of the fact that their liberties are being gradually taken away while the power of the New World Order. Who are the Bilderberg Group and why do they meet every year? What do they talk about and why the secrecy? Do they intend to rule the world? Are they a secret society? The people want to know what's going on? The world's power elite are gathering for one world domination. Some people think them to be global tyranny. Why is it that for years it was even denied the Bilderberg Group even existed, the true elite that rules the world? Do they manipulate presidents and economies to their advantage? Is it really true that after they discuss something in their agenda, then we see surprising effects in the real world? There are people that find it difficult to believe that the oil shock of 1973 could have been masterminded by the Bilderberg Group as many claim, a shadowy world government, political kingmakers, a capitalist cabal looking to impose its will across the globe. Do they manipulate the masses into believe they have a voice and a choice? Are they individuals forming a group with the intention to hold power and rise above the masses? What are they trying to hide? They are billionaires, politicians, bankers, and so-called European royalty. There are splits among the people who run modern capitalist societies, and so they have meetings which became known as the Bilderberg Group. The Bilderberg Group, also known as the Bilderberg Meeting, Bilderberg Conference, or Bilderberg Club, is a private annual gathering of political leaders, experts, and industry leaders from Europe and North America. The people who run modern capitalist societies, and one of the big issues they disagree about, is whether or not they really can rely on the capitalist system and the market to manage modern society in a way that allows them to keep their dominant position, their wealth, their influence, and so on. There are those who believe that the market is a fantastic institution, that if each corporation does exactly what is most profitable for it, this will work out to be the best possible society for everyone. Then, there are other corporate leaders who say that the levels of inequality common to capitalist societies create severe vulnerability, that you are going to make the mass of people who have middle or low income eventually decide to use their political power. Even with their strict confidentiality, we may know a few things. We know, for instance, that the Bilderberg meetings were initiated by Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands in 1954 in the Bilderberg Hotel in Holland. The meeting is an annual off-the-record forum to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. The group's agenda, originally to prevent another world war, is now defined as bolstering a consensus around free market Western capitalism and its interests around the globe. Participants include political leaders, experts, captains of industry, finance, academia, numbering between 120 and 150. Attendees are entitled to use information gained at meetings, but not attribute it to a named speaker, known as the Chatham House Rule. The group states that the purpose of this is to encourage candid debate while at the same time maintaining privacy, but critics from a wide range of viewpoints have called it into question, and it has provoked conspiracy theories from both the left and right. They are the majority to use politics to undo the results of a capitalist private economic market system, and that therefore you must take steps to deal with that notice. Meetings were chaired by Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands until 1975. The current chairman is French businessman Henri de Castries. Since 1954, the meeting has taken place every year except in 1976, when it was cancelled due to the Lockheed bribery scandals involving Prince Bernhard. Lisbon hosted the 69th meeting in 2023. The first conference was held at the Bilderberg Hotel, Hotel de Bilderberg, in Oosterbeek, Netherlands, from 29 to the 31st of May, 1954. The hotel gave its name both to the group and to the Bilderbergers, who participate in its activities. The hotel is situated in a quiet location, approximately 7 kilometers west of the city of Arnhem. It is owned and operated by the Bilderberg hotel chain, which runs 12 hotels and an event location in the Netherlands and 1 hotel in Germany. At the time of the 1954 conference, it was a medium-sized family-run hotel. The conference was initiated by several people, including Polish politician in exile Josef Rettinger, who, concerned about the growth of anti-Americanism in Western Europe, proposed an international conference at which leaders from European countries and the United States would be brought together with the aim of promoting Atlanticism, better understanding between the cultures of the United States and Western Europe to foster cooperation on political, economic, and defense issues. Rettinger approached Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, who agreed to promote the idea, together with former Belgian Prime Minister Paul van Zeeland and the then head of Unilever, Paul Rykens. Bernhard in turn contacted Walter Bedell Smith, the then head of the CIA, who asked Eisenhower advisor Charles Douglas Jackson to deal with the suggestion. The guest list was to be drawn up by inviting 2 attendees from each nation, one of each to represent conservative and liberal points of view. 50 delegates from 11 countries in Western Europe attended the first conference along with 11 Americans. The success of the meeting led the organizers to arrange an annual conference. A permanent steering committee was established with Rettinger appointed as permanent secretary. As well as organizing the conference, the steering committee also maintained a register of attendee names and contact details with the aim of creating an informal network of individuals who could call upon one another in a private capacity. Conferences were held in France, Germany, and Denmark over the following 3 years. In 1957, the first U.S. conference was held on St. Simon's Island, Georgia, with $30,000 from the Ford Foundation. The foundation also supplied funding for the 1959 and 1963 conferences. The group's original goal of promoting Atlanticism, strengthening U.S.-European relations, and preventing another world war has grown. According to Andrew Kakabadze, the Bilderberg Group's theme is to bolster a consensus around free market Western capitalism and its interests around the globe. In 2001, Dennis Healy, a Bilderberg Group founder and a steering committee member for 30 years, said, "To say we were striving for a one-world government is exaggerated but not wholly unfair. Those of us in Bilderberg felt we couldn't go on forever fighting one another for nothing and killing people and rendering millions homeless. So we felt that a single community throughout the world would be a good thing." According to the webpage of the group, the meetings are conducted under the Chatham House Rule, allowing the participants to use any information they gained during the meeting, but not to disclose the names of the speakers or any other participants. According to former chairman Etienne Davignon in 2011, a major attraction of Bilderberg Group meetings is that they provide an opportunity for participants to speak and debate candidly, and to find out what major figures really think, without the risk of off-the-cuff comments becoming fodder for controversy in the media. A 2008 press release from the American Friends of Bilderberg stated that Bilderberg's only activity is its annual conference, and that at the meetings, no resolutions were proposed, no votes taken, and no policy statements issued. However, in November 2009, the group hosted a dinner meeting at the Chateau of Val-Duchesse in Brussels outside its annual conference to promote the candidacy of Herman Van Rompuy for President of the European Council. Everybody's agreed among them that what they want is capitalism to continue, the people running the corporations to continue, but one group doesn't want to worry about taking care of social problems and the other group does. So they have meetings because these disagreements can become explosive. Do you think this group uses their capital to overcome democracy and the will of the people? They have no interest in democracy or the republic. They never did, and let me explain why. Every one of these people, they operate their enterprises in a fundamentally anti-republic way. For example, the board of directors does not submit its proposals or its strategies to the entire employees to get their approval. That would be a republic way to run an enterprise. They don't do that. What the enterprise is in capitalism is a systematic training of the population against the republic. If you spend 5 days a week, 9 to 5 at your factory or in your office, you are in an environment that teaches you to accept orders from whoever is above you. In the hierarchy, there is no elite control. We all talk about a republic that isn't there, and partly the talk is a compensation. Because it isn't the reality 300 years ago. We got rid of kings, but the kings didn't go away. They were clever. They went inside the capitalist corporation and they changed their name. It's now CEO. Would you say that these kind of groups are think tanks, or they're rather the biggest cap lobby ever? I prefer the lobby because thinking is not their strong suit. What they do is, they hire people to do the thinking for them. I went to all the elite schools in this country. I know all these people. They're managers, that's what they've been trained to do, to manage to identify who they can rely on. Who has technical knowledge of this or that. So they bring people like me, a critic of the system. They want to know how people like me look at all of this, and I always have an ambivalent feeling, wondering to myself, who am I helping here? You know these are not my people. You know we are laughing, but it actually feels hopeless. Do you think there is any way around this in the heyday, when these systems are powerful? They are powerful because they have persuaded the masses of people that it must be this conclusion way from the first time. I heard stories about my grandfathers. I had a heroic and maybe naive view of the world as I grew up and learned more. That challenge was to keep the flame inside me alive, to believe that I can be part of the change. It is tempting to believe that we have no power, that our thought don't matter, that our protests don't matter. I believe they only matter if we ask the right questions. The participants are between 120 and 150 people, including political leaders, experts from industry, finance, NATO, academia, and the media. About 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America, 1/3 from politics and government, and the rest from other fields. Historically, attendee lists have been weighted toward bankers, politicians, directors of large businesses 14, and board members from large publicly traded corporations, including Wallenberg-owned conglomerate holding company Investor AB, and other Wallenberg-owned multinationals, such as Ericsson and ABB, IBM, Xerox, Royal Dutch Shell, Nokia, and Daimler. Heads of state, including former King Juan Carlos I of Spain, and former Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands, have attended meetings. A source connected to the group told the Daily Telegraph in 2013 that other individuals, whose names are not publicly issued, sometimes turn up just for the day at the group's meetings. The banker and industrialist Marcus Wallenberg Jr. was a member of the steering committee and attended the meeting 22 times from the 1950s to 1981, a year prior to his death. His grandson Marcus Wallenberg has attended it 8 times, and his other grandson Jacob Wallenberg 17 times. Meetings are organized by a steering committee with 2 members from each of approximately 18 nations. Official posts include a chairman and an honorary secretary general. The group's rules do not contain a membership category, but former participants receive the annual conference reports. The only category that exists is member of the steering committee. Besides the committee, there is a separate advisory group with overlapping membership. Dutch economist Ernst van der Beugel became permanent secretary in 1960 upon Rettinger's death. Prince Bernhard continued to serve as the meeting's chairman until 1976, the year of his involvement in the Lockheed affair. The position of honorary American Secretary General has been held successively by Joseph E. Johnson of the Carnegie Endowment, William Bundy of Princeton University, Theodore L. Elliott Jr., former U.S. Ambassador to Afghanistan, and Casimir A. Yost of Georgetown University's Institute for the Study of Diplomacy. According to James A. Bill, the steering committee usually met twice a year to plan programs and to discuss the participant list. In 2002, in Them Adventures with Extremists, author John Ronson wrote that the group has a small central office in Holland which each year decides what country will host the forthcoming meeting. The host country then has to book an entire hotel for 4 days, plus arrange catering, transport, and security. To fund this, the host solicits donations from sympathetic corporations such as Barclays, Fiat Automobiles, GlaxoSmithKline, Heinz, Nokia, and Xerox.